The elevator worked perfectly until Chubby Max and his snacks became too heavy to come back down. Morning sunlight warmed the old treehouse as Timmy Tinker tightened the last knot on his invention. Below the wooden platform stood a strong crate, a long rope, an iron pulley, and a heavy sandbag designed to lift supplies safely into the branches.
Look what I brought!
Timmy checked every
Wow.
board and tested
got
the rope
crate ready.
twice. The little
Amazing.
elevator was meant for
Let's get these
tools,
loaded up.
books, and baskets of food. It was not meant for passengers. But before he could explain that rule, Chubby Max arrived carrying a bag packed with biscuits, fruit, and snacks. Max stared at the crate with shining eyes and asked whether he could be the first rider. Timmy hesitated. He wanted another careful test, but Max was already sitting inside, holding his snack bag like an explorer. Buddy Popcorn circled the crate, wagging his tail. Timmy took a deep breath, gripped the rope, and slowly released the sandbag counterweight. The pulley creaked, the rope tightened, and the wooden crate began rising from the grass. At first, everything worked beautifully. Max floated upward with a huge smile, waving proudly as though the garden were celebrating him. Sunlight flashed across the iron pulley, and the crate climbed closer to the leafy treehouse. Then the counterweight pulled harder than Timmy expected. The crate shot upward, past the platform, and stopped near the highest branches.
The ladder is
Max
right
looked
here,
down and
Max.
discovered that the ground
Take
seemed
my hand,
very
you've got
far
this.
away. He tried to remain brave. He raised one hand, struck a heroic pose, and announced that the unexpected height was
Almost
clearly
lost them.
part of the experiment. Timmy knew it was not. He pulled the
Close
rope with
call.
both hands,
Thank
but the
goodness.
crate barely moved. A few curious neighbors came through the garden gate. They looked up, saw Max dangling beneath the canopy, and began cheering as if they were watching a festival performance. Max smiled nervously and pretended everything was under control. Buddy Popcorn noticed the loose end of the rope sliding across the lawn. Thinking it was a game, he grabbed it and ran. The crate swung gently from side to side. Max clutched the edge while his snack bag bounced beside him. Timmy called for Buddy to stop, but the excited puppy tugged again. The pulley spun, leaves shook, and the crate bobbed above the garden. The neighbors gasped, then laughed when Max shouted that the ride needed fewer surprises and a much softer landing. Suddenly, the heavy snack bag tipped over the side. Biscuits,
Good
apples,
boy.
and wrapped sandwiches tumbled through the air and landed across the grass. With the extra weight gone, the balance of the system changed at once. The sandbag and crate slowly became equal. The wild swinging stopped. Under Timmy's careful control, the elevator began gliding downward, smooth and gentle as a falling feather. Max finally reached the ground and stepped out with shaky knees. He quickly claimed that the passenger test had been a success. Timmy crossed his arms and pointed toward the scattered snacks, the twisted rope, and the neighbors still laughing near the fence. Together, they gathered every biscuit and apple. Buddy proudly carried one wrapped sandwich back, although no one was certain whether he planned to return it or eat it later. Timmy inspected the crate, tightened the knots, and adjusted the counterweight. Then he painted a large wooden sign, "Cargo, only no passengers." He hung it where nobody could miss it. For a moment, the garden became peaceful again. The old tree stood firm. Wildflowers moved in the breeze, and morning light sparkled on the dew. Timmy felt proud that his invention had survived its first difficult test. When he turned around, however, Buddy Popcorn was already sitting inside the crate. The puppy looked up eagerly, ready for his own flight. Max pointed at him and laughed so loudly that it echoed through the garden. Timmy gently lifted Buddy out and reminded both friends that clever inventions only remained useful when people followed the safety rules. Max nodded seriously, although he still kept glancing toward the elevator with an adventurous grin. They coiled the rope, stored the tools, and placed the crate firmly on the grass. Timmy checked each knot once more, making sure nothing had weakened during the unexpected ride. Max sat on a nearby log and enjoyed one rescued biscuit. Buddy chased a butterfly between the flowers, forgetting the elevator for several minutes. The upper branches swayed slowly, keeping time with the soft garden breeze. As the morning grew warmer, Timmy sat beside Max and opened a fresh sheet of paper. He sketched a safer braking lever, a stronger guide rail, and a locking gate that could prevent another surprise passenger. Max studied the drawing and suggested adding a comfortable seat. Timmy reminded him that the elevator was still for cargo. Max smiled and suggested a seat for very important cargo. The three friends rested beneath the old tree while the garden settled into silence. The rope lay neatly coiled, the pulley waited above, and the treehouse stood ready for many more inventions. Timmy had learned that building something clever was only the beginning. A true inventor also had to test carefully, prepare for mistakes, and protect every friend who might turn a simple machine into an unexpected adventure. Morning light promised one more joyful adventure